been scouring the socials and asking around, and I'm
So it's all about speed in today's sprint, not very many laps and no chance to get ahead on strategy. Who here today has the raw skill to take them to the top? With good opportunities to overtake at the end of the Wellington and Hangar Straights, there's a lot of potential for close action around the 3.6 miles of Silverstone circuit. With 18 corners and average lap speeds of around 145 miles per hour, it's also one of the longest and quickest circuits on the calendar. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's sprint. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, edging out Lando Norris, who'll start from P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Verstappen, and Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Piastri, Hadjar, Antonelli, Gasly, and Fernando Alonso, Sainz, Albon, Ollie Behrman, and Stroll, Colapinto, Bottas, Arvid Lindblad, and Liam Lawson, Perez, Hulkenberg, Ocon, and Morgan. Which of these drivers will get pole position today? We'll soon find out. And alongside me, a man, well, what more can I say? But he's a legend, Anthony Davidson. Well, they say that a change is as good as a rest, and whilst there's not much rest on show in the sprint format today, there's definitely a change to what we're usually seeing on the track. I love being here at Silverstone. I know you do too. Mainly because we get to sleep in our own houses for a week. But what do the drivers enjoy most about this track?
Well, Silverstone's such a challenging circuit, Crofty, more so for the car than the driver, because these high-speed corners at Silverstone really test this modern-day F1 machinery to its maximum. We don't get that many times throughout the calendar. I can only think of Suzuka and Spa, maybe Qatar as well, with that high-energy cornering that you get here at Silverstone. So the drivers love throwing the car around through corners like Copse, Maggots and Beckett's, for example, and it's really influential for your lap time as well.
Okay, mate, I know it's not a great position to be starting on the grid, and it also puts us slap bang in the middle of the danger zone where risk is high. So be careful, pick your battles, and let's see if we can pick a few positions off along the way. up rubber and bring it home.
Well, that's an end to the sprint action. Next up, we'll set the grid for the Grand Prix. So we'll see you next time. Welcome everyone as you join us at a former Second World War aircraft base, now converted into one of the great motor racing tracks. Britain is one of only 2 countries to have held a Grand Prix in every year of the Formula One World Championship, and long may that continue. This is Silverstone, and this is the British Grand Prix. Straddling the border of Northamptonshire and Buckinghamshire, the 18 corners of Silverstone Circuit form the 3.6-mile beating heart of Formula One. It's been reinvented over the years, with Turn 1 now the fast right-hander of Abbey, but the magic of racing is as strong here as it's ever been. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Lando Norris put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Russell, Leclerc, Max Verstappen, and Piastri, Antonelli, Alonso, Hadjar, and Carlos Sainz, Lawson, Gasly, Arvid Lindblad, and Albon, Colapinto, Behrman, Sergio Perez, and Esteban Ocon, Bottas, Hülkenberg, Stroll, and Morgan. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. And alongside me today, former Formula One driver and former world champion too. See, told you I'd give you a big intro. Anthony Davidson, hello. And let's talk momentum with this driver. What a sprint it was. They start at 0 once again for today, but with a huge amount of confidence, surely. Well, they'll definitely be glad that there's not a sprint race today. Let's face it, the sprint couldn't have gone much worse, but what we're looking for today is a reaction. I love being here at Silverstone. I know you do too. Mainly because we get to sleep in our own houses for a week. But what do the drivers enjoy most about this track?
Well, Silverstone's such a challenging circuit, Crofty, more so for the car than the driver, because these high-speed corners at Silverstone really test this modern-day F1 machinery to its maximum. We don't get that many times throughout the calendar. I can only think of Suzuka and Spa, maybe Qatar as well, with that high-energy cornering that you get here at Silverstone. So the drivers love throwing the car around through corners like Copse, Maggots and Beckett's, for example, and it's really influential for your lap time as well.
Now, I know this isn't where we wanted to start this race, but given we're back here at the back of the grid, it means there's an opportunity to move forward. I've seen you karting back in the day. Let's go and do it again. someone's come off ahead of you. There's a yellow flag ahead. Okay, information on Sainz. Right, they've got a serious car issue. It looks like they're retiring. Okay, the incident's been cleared. Let's get back up to racing speed. Come on. Okay, we're approaching the pit window. You're going to be on softs. Tyre condition still looking good. P19, you have P19 now. It's Perez ahead of you. Okay, gap to the car ahead, 2.5 seconds. Stroll behind. Less than a second separates you, and your pit window opens in 2 laps time. 9 laps to go. Okay mate, that's Stroll behind you. We want to keep them behind please, this is super critical for our strategy. That wasn't quite what we needed I'm afraid, but listen, don't worry about it, it's a long way to go, so let's just focus until the end. Okay, Nico's into the pits. Nico in the pits. Okay, we want you to pit this lap, so push now, push. Box this lap. Keep an eye on your distance to the speed limit line as you approach and make sure you don't speed. Okay, it's on performance unless you box for a new one. Okay, so that's a red flag, no overtaking, and let's get back into the pits, please. Okay, we've done all right so far, but this is a chance to take a breath. We've got another half of this race to go, and there's still a big opportunity there. Away in just a moment. Stand by. down before hitting the corners. We don't want to get a penalty. All right, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
And the best of British and the best on the track. It's George Russell who wins.
A great team victory today, Crofty. That's the important bit here. On home soil, the drivers delivered, the team delivered as well, and to do that in front of their home support really means a lot to them.
It's what every driver imagines when they start out on their long road towards Formula One. And for our lucky three today, here's the podium waiting for them. By George, he was good today. The top step awaits for George Russell. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action, and I can't wait to see what's next.